Hello guys and gals, Froggy here. I apologize. I'm already a little bit of the ways into removing this door switch, and I forgot to get the camera out and show you how to do it. Anyway, I will recreate, and it's so easy. You see these two clips here, there and there. They go there where my finger is and there where my little finger is. All right, all you do is pry up in those two positions with any screwdriver carefully, or you can use one of those plastic bladed prying tools that you use to take apart panels, door panels. I'll show you later, and it prevents you from damaging your upholstery. Anyway, long story short, this switch here is intermittently not working. So I've got to either replace this whole thing, which is $20 for a Chinese one, about $65 for GM-AC Delco, which is made who knows where, Mexico, India, or I can try repairing it, and I am going to try repairing it. And it'll cost me zero except for my time. All right, once you get it out, it's going to hang like this. 3 disconnects. Push here, and then you're going to have to pry it apart, because there are a lot of electrical connections that are holding it in, not wanting you to be able to pull it out. So you have to pry again with a screwdriver a little bit here and there. Here, same one. This one has even more electrical connections. And then the final one, you have to press in down where my thumb is. It's a little bit different. Press in and then out with that one. I'm going to need 2 hands. Okay, so you see all those pins there, there, there. That's what you're fighting against to get the plug disconnected. And I won't lie to you, they're all hard to do. However, now we can take this to the bench and open it up and see what it looks like inside. There'll be some circuit boards and some pressure switches, okay? So these are actually 2 separate switches, and I maybe could have just left this one connected, taken these 2 out and got this switch out and left this hanging there. I don't know. Maybe somebody else can try that way if they want to try it that way, and put something down in the comments. So these are Torx. Let's take them out, and this might just kind of angle in on the other end. We'll see. We're going to find out. Froggy's learning this as you are watching it. I've never done this service before. So this is a T20, and I don't think we need power tools for this. I'm just going to use this little driver and this T20 bit to get it apart. Okay, so be gentle with this, or you're going to break this little piece for sure. This car is an '02, so it's almost 20 years old. This plastic has gotten hot and cold so many times. It's probably brittle. It doesn't have a lot of strength, but I was able to carefully, gently pry a little bit. And here's a tip Froggy's going to give you that nobody else tells you. Push the window lock switch so it's in the down position, and that'll help you tilt it as it comes out. See what I'm showing you like this? Push this down out of the way, and that'll help you tilt this and get this out. And then just pry a little bit here and here and here and here. Don't pry here, pry here in between the switch and this, okay? So now it looks like we've got 6 little, and these are very small, little plastic clips that clip the 2 halves like a shell going together, like a clam shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to have to pry and then pull apart and get each one of those loose. I need 2 hands. Okay, this is a really important part, and it seems as though maybe it changes from model year to model year on the different switches. But in order to take these two pieces apart to get to where you want to clean or repair or solder, you have to take these switch tops off. And taking them off is tricky a little bit. I end up using this pointed tool, awl, or whatever you want to call it. It's got an angle on it. And I'm going to try to show you how I did it. So you got to get under here and pull one half of it, one side open, lift up, then go on the other side, get under there, pull it away from the center line, and then up, because these little tiny, let me focus, please. Okay, I guess that's about as good as we're going to get. These little clips here, there where I'm touching and there where I'm touching, they clip into that right there and that right there. So you have to pull apart and then lift it off. Okay? Took me a while to figure that out. I did not see that on anybody else's video, and like I said, could be different from model year to model year. This is an 02, but it might apply to 01, 03, you know, I'm not sure, but you have to look for that. Now I can take this apart and look at where I think the problem might be. And be gentle and be lucky, and you won't break any of these, because if you break one of those, then this part's not going to snap on there and stay on there very well. So clear things here, they spread the light. These are lighted switches. The light comes out, that little blue bulb and the other little blue bulb, and it actually spreads through the clear plastic. It's pretty clever. Carefully remove this light diffuser, is what I'm going to call it. It's got two clips at the bottom. There you see right dead center sticking out, and there the other one right there dead center sticking out, those two little clips there. I used a little awl to I tilted it one way, and then I put the awl in and got the other one and just wiggled it out like that. So put that aside. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to separate this circuit board from this plastic, because these main sets of electrical connector things, they're pushed through the black plastic and then soldered to the circuit board. So you can't take it apart, at least this model year. So I'm going to just look at this switch. This is the one I'm having trouble with. Everything else works fine. And I'm going to see if I can get into this actual switch a little bit and clean it or solder it or repair it. So before they fall out of position, see they have two little funny cylinders that go into two holes on the bottom of this. So I'm just holding it as it came apart. Now I'm going to put the camera down and pick them up and shove them into the holes that are in the bottom of the switch piece. So what I did next is I took the one next to it, which is the right passenger window. I took that out, and I want to see if there's any difference between them, the length or the condition of those little shafts or the springy metal contacts that are down inside there. Well, I'm just thinking out loud now. These little cylinders, 1, 2, 3, 4, they do have springs. So I'm wondering if the spring tension on them might have got soft, possibly. I'm thinking of maybe just switching left to right, and then trying it out, see if it works better. The other thing would be this springiness or spring tension of those little metal contacts you can see down in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I took these rubber boots off there and there so I can get a better look at what's going on. And now I do actually see what I think is the problem. And when this switch rocks each way, there is a focus right there where the tip of my awl is. There's a contact point right there, and it looks to be burnt. If you understand the way I mean, an electrical contact gets burnt. It's like corroded, or from multi uses, it gets not smooth. It gets a rough surface. So I don't think I can get a replacement for it, obviously, or even a replacement for the whole switch. You have to buy the whole thing, which is probably $150 at a dealer. You can get cheap overseas ones for $25, and a GM is about $75. But I'm going to try and clean up that contact right there and the other side, which is out of the picture, and see if that helps. I've got some special contact cleaner, and I've got, maybe some 8,000 sandpaper or something like that. Okay, so carefully I lifted off those metal V-shaped pieces, and you may be able to very clearly see those two contacts at the lower part that I'm shining my light on. They look burnt. So it was always let me think for a second. I think it was the up or the down that didn't work. Anyway, it was one or the other that didn't work. You see those on the passenger? Well, let me take off the metal pieces and I'll show you. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Those are pretty stout pieces of metal, so I don't think they're lost any tension or anything. And I don't think there's any problem with the tension of those little shafts there. I think it's just the corrosion. You can really see. That's the worst one right there where my finger's pointing. And I can't take these off because they go through the circuit board. It's just not a repairable thing for me. Maybe some guy who's good with circuit boards could do it. Excuse me. But anyway, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean all of those, the bottom side of these. I'm going to clean all of those. Then I'm going to take the little V-shaped things, or W, it looks more like a W than a V. I'm going to take the ones from the back windows and put them to the front windows, and the front windows put them to the back windows. And that way, these will be like almost new on the front. And I think these contact points back here are going to look good, but I can't move them. So anyway, I'm going to take a little lunch break now, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I decided not to go through all that trouble because really what I'm gaining is I'm not moving the bottom contacts, and I can polish these up to be just as good as the ones that are back here because I can hold it and polish it. It's a separate piece. So I'm just going to clean these up, clean up these contacts, mostly that one right there, and put it back together, okay? Okay, that's how it turned out. I used some number 600 sandpaper. I wrapped it around a pair of needle nose pliers, and then I just polished the ends of those too. So I'll shoot a little there. See, pretty good. And I'll shoot a little contact cleaner on there, electrical contact cleaner, and put it back together, see what happens. I'll put a link down in the comments. I'm going to snap the clamshell back together. I broke 1 out of the 6, but I don't think that's going to matter at all. I remember I already told you, be very careful with these. If you break any of those little bits here, or if you break, well, it'd be pretty hard to break anything on this part. I guess you could break something right there where my thumb is, but mostly just push these on kind of easy. You might even put a tiny spot of lubrication on there so that it, and I mean a spot, so that it would slide on nice and easy. Okay, I didn't actually need to put any lube. I just had it squared off nice and just popped them back on. See how they feel. If it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. So before you put it all back together, make sure each one of the switches is feeling right to the touch. Okay? All feels good. I'm going to go plug it back into the car and give it a try. Whoops, almost forgot that little trim piece. And I saw those 2 Torx screws sitting there. I knew there was one more part. Well, wouldn't you know, I did break one little tiny piece of plastic right where my finger is rubbing there. And that's the button that I use a lot. But I'm going to take some silicone. Where is it? A little silicone sealer, and I'm going to put a dab there. And since you're pressing down on it all the time, I think it'll probably stay okay. Yes, I'm using this. It's advertised for fabrics, but it'll stick to plastic, and it has a little give to it, a little flex to it, even as it sets up as a glue. So I think that'll work okay. If it falls off, then I'll use a different kind of glue to put it on there. The whole rocker thing tilts, so it's not rotating on that pin. The whole thing tilts one way and then the other way. So I don't need it to rotate on the pin. These clips are supposed to stay on the other side here. So I'm going to pull them out and use a pair of pliers and shove them on to where they belong here. Then I will push this down in there. Give me a second. So these actually go a certain way. You see where I'm going to slide it on there, it has like a rib thing in the middle. And this has a little tooth that will dig into that rib and keep it on there. If you put it this way, it won't work because there's no rib on the other side. So put it that way. Okay, I think that should do it. And there's a little pin here that goes in that hole there. So we stick it on. Okay, just like that. I need 2 hands. Okay, so I've got it on accessory mode, and we'll try everything out. Hold on. I think that's supposed to prevent you from leaving your keys in. Let's take the keys out. Yeah, lock, unlock. That you don't need the key for. So that works. Try the windows. The one push all the way down works. Works nice. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. All right. Window lock. And that just locks the back windows. Maybe that's for when you're driving. Let's start it up. I'm not sure on that one, but I'm not going to worry about it. Mirror works. Other side works. Okay, I'm gonna call it good. Give me a thumbs up or a like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. If you don't like a lot of detail, don't subscribe to my channel because I give you a lot of detail. Ring the bell if you want notification. Be safe, have fun. Froggy out. Bye-bye.